I have spent all my life in Birmingham. Here, even the people are haunted. Sometimes I'm wondering what I'm going to do with my life, whether I should leave and get a new change of scenery, or stay and try to get my life back on track. My parents died recently. They were on a plane to Italy on vacation. The plane crashed and everyone on board died. It wasn't pirate era like everyone in the media would like you to believe. Black box audio is usually public, but the audio for Birmingham Airlines Flight 1357 was never released and kept from the public. Of course, the theories came floating in like water through a broken dam. Despite the best efforts of the government to sweep this under the rug, I and the families of everyone else who died on board demanded answers, but we got none. Until the audio was leaked, and that only brought up more unanswered questions. I've listened to the audio myself. The pilots were just having an ordinary conversation, then they both noticed something. The audio went dead silent. Then the two pilots started confessing all their wrongdoings, everything they've ever done, spewed out of their mouth. The rest of the recordings were just everyone screaming. I decided to move on and not dwell on any theories that other people on the internet came up with. It really didn't matter either way. My parents were dead. I had a mock funeral. I was the only one that went. Seeing that we had no other family, it was up to me to get their house cleaned up and ready to sell. I was not looking forward to the probate process. One day, I drove over there. The house was a pure specimens of what it used to be. What once was a lush, well-kept lawn was now overgrown with yellow grass. Thankfully, the house and the second garage across from it was made of brick. I feared to imagine what shape they'd be in if they had it built with brick. As I walked up the pathway to the front door, memories flashed through my mind like lightning. Me and my dad tossing the ball when I was 10. Me walking the dog around the house with Mom when I was 12. The memories faded and reality sinked in. I've never been able to make memories with them again. I was over everything up until this point. My knees buckled and I dropped to the ground. Tears streamed down my face and I couldn't control it anymore. They were gone forever. Nothing could change that. I took a few deep breaths and continued to count to 10. After my breathing exercise, I felt right as rain. I picked myself up off the floor and entered the house. It was an eerie being in the house for the first time in years. The inside of the house didn't look abandoned. A part of me felt like Mom and Dad were still in the bedroom or living room. It was like being inside of one of the houses in Chernobyl. Everything in the house looked the same as the day it did when it was abandoned. Canned food and boxed food was still in the cabinets. Mouse droppings laid on the floor. The smell of mold and mildew was so strong I could taste it. I held my breath and trudged forward to the bedrooms to look for my parents' financial information. After a few minutes of rummaging through the bedroom, I found the paperwork. Also, I found something else. A box of letters that I have never seen before, written by people I've never met. Letter number 1. Dear Uncle Tony, November 14th, 1989. Happy birthday, Uncle Tony. Love is not something you can see. Love is something you feel deep in your heart, and I love you. Love, Lorraine. Really strange. The letter is addressing my father, but he and my mother didn't have any siblings. Why lie? Did he have a falling out as a result? He didn't want anything else to do with his family? Letter 2. Dear Uncle Tony, November 21st, 1989. I really like staying over and spending time with you and Aunt Pam. I love staying up past bedtime to watch cartoons and eat chocolate chip cookies. At nighttime, it really scares me when I hear tapping on my window. I cover myself with a blanket and turn over, but the tapping just continues. Lorraine. Letter number 3. Dear Uncle Tony, November 28th, 1989. I had lots of fun building snow forts with you and Aunt Pam last weekend. I had more fun when I caught the both of you by surprise and nailed you with snowballs. It was fun until bedtime. Then the tapping started again, and this time I couldn't help but turn over. I saw a monster at my window. I started feeling really guilty and sad as I stared at him. There was something mesmerizing about that thing at the window. Unable to look away, I started remembering all sorts of bad stuff I did, like breaking my mom's face and lying about it. I smashed my head against the wall to make the thoughts stop. Lorraine. Letter number 4. To Tony, December 4th, 1989. I'm happy to let Lorraine spend the weekend over at your house. Your family, after all, and I want her to know her uncle and aunt, you and Pam, have really been there for Lorraine, and ever since Rick abandoned us a few years ago. But Lorraine came home on Sunday with a bruise on her forehead. Please make sure you keep an eye on her when she's playing. Susan. Letter number 5. Dear Uncle Tony, December 8th, 1989. I really look forward to spending Christmas with you. Thank you for buying me a Barbie. I love her so much. I played with her until that monster showed up. I saw him and started feeling guilty like last time. I remember when I told a kid at school yellow snow was the same as yellow snow cone, and he ate it. I smashed my head again, and this time it really hurt. Lorraine. Letter number 6. Dear Pam, December 18th, 1889. For whatever reason, Tony hasn't bothered to listen to me. I'm looking forward to having Christmas with you, but Lorraine got a big bruise on her forehead. How is she getting hurt so much? Susan. Letter number 7. Dear Pam, Jan 1st, 1990. I really appreciate you and Tony having us over for the holidays, but there's something really odd that's happening when I was there. I was awakened by a knock at my door. Lorraine was crying and telling me that there was someone was tapping on her window. I walked into the room she was staying in. At first, I thought there was something at the window, but chalked it up to my imagination since I was still half asleep. Clearly, I have not been listened to. I do not think I can allow her over to your house if you continue not to listen. I'll allow the both of you one more chance. I do not want to have to do this, but if you force my hand, I will do what I feel is best. Susan. Letter number 8. Dear Uncle Tony, January 4th, 1990. I really enjoy seeing you and Aunt Pam. I don't know if I want to come over anymore. I couldn't sleep last time. I'm really scared to go over. Lorraine. Letter number 9. Dear Uncle Tony and Pam, January 7th, 1990. I cannot allow Lorraine at your house. When she got home from last visit, she said that she never wanted to go back and wouldn't stop crying. I don't know what happened, but she is not going to your home anymore. I'm furious that my rules were not obeyed. How dare you undermine me? I think you know how Lorraine got hurt too, but I'm starting to think that it's just an accident due to your negligence. Susan. Letter number 10. Dear Tony and Pam, February 1st, 1990. How dare you try to play victim? You want me to reconsider? No way. If you guys didn't hurt Lorraine, then how come you can't at the very least admit that both of you are negligent caretakers? How dare you throw it in my face? All the things you did for Lorraine financially, emotionally, and otherwise. Don't try to spin me a sob story. Lorraine is the daughter I'd never have. Cry me a river. Also, never throw my condition in my face again. I've been just fine mentally, and I've been taking my medicine. My illness has nothing to do with the decisions I make. I laughed when I read the part of your letter when you mentioned you were afraid of the child's well-being because I'm unwell. Don't ever threaten me. You'll never see Lorraine or me again as long as you live. It looked to be the end of the letters. I needed answers, so I searched the house for any letters but found nothing. I gave up. Feeling defeated, I gathered myself and grabbed the paperwork I needed, then headed home. During the ride home, I felt like something was following me. I ascribed the feeling to just being on the edge due to the letters. I pulled into the driveway of my home, feeling empty. My house was a mess. Not as bad as my parents' house, but still a mess. The lawn was unkept. White peeling paint on the front porch on either side of the house indicated that a new paint job was needed. It's not like it really mattered anyway. No one was coming to visit me. I was alone. The mailbox was overflowing with a thick stack of mail. I removed the mail, then headed inside. A few days worth of dishes were piled in the sink. Also, the trash can was crammed full of the fast food bags. Ever since the death of my parents, I've barely taken care of myself. I threw my letters down on the table, nothing but bills of junk and mail. There was nothing to look forward to anymore. I dragged myself to bed and laid down. As my eyelids became heavier and I was about to drift off to sleep, I had the feeling that someone was watching me. I heard an anonymous tapping on my window, but didn't dare to turn over to see what was causing the noise.